You must be willing to do things today that others won't do in order for you to have the things tomorrow that others won't have.
Face your fears.
Well,
Leave it to the unknown.
yeah, I mean, when we talk about joy and we talk about consistent day-to-day joy, a joy that's everlasting, that doesn't leave you, that you're peaceful, right? I know you probably hear a lot about it. I know I did growing up. It's actually, believe it or not, it's something that I actually believe is very attainable. It's possible. You can do that. You can have that. But like he was saying, you must be willing to do things today that people are not willing to do, so that you can have things in tomorrow, which is joy, everlasting peace, that others won't have. And what are the things of today that most people won't do?
Look
inside for peace, so others, others to have a piece of comfort.
Yeah, it's very true.
You have to be happy. Happiness comes from looking at compassion.
So looking at
With your heart,
yourself.
compassion.
Focus on yourself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, learn to love yourself.
Yeah. What the word that comes to mind is, one of the things that always comes to mind, not just here or even at Dole where I work or previous lives and whatnot, a lot of people do not make discipline a part of their life. Right? That's why I was reaching out to you guys today. Like, it's April. 4 months has passed by. Time flew, right? I just remember writing down my goals for 2017. I felt like that was just yesterday. And today when I opened my journal, it's 4 months of journaling have passed. And now we're here.
Yes, not 2016 anymore?
No.
I was just getting used to it.
I know. And the scary part is we're 9 months away to 2018. Isn't that crazy? Time flies. Do you guys know Socrates?
What was that?
So Socrates, one of the philosophers, he said that an undisciplined life is an insane life. So he was making a point about things that you got to do today in order for you to have things in tomorrow that others won't have. Like making discipline a part of your routine, a part of the life. The second thing that comes to mind about things that we can do today.
I have something to say.
Yeah, go for it.
I think that's true because I thought about something like that.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's the way I don't know, but I know that harshly because sometimes we're different. There's not a lot until there's a lot of different. The same, similar, more like you, you're going to have that, And because there's not, it makes it rare.
Well, the other thing that comes to mind...
That's how I feel.
No, I totally understand. The other thing that comes to mind is I heard this story. Today I was reading about an anthropologist. Her name is Margaret Mead. So, Margaret was saying that, and this is very true on one of her books, she was saying that there's a lot of things that we do today that we think that we're making a decision of, like as if it's our choice. But a lot of times, the things that we think we're making a choice of is not really a choice that we've made.
It's something from years that you don't even realize.
Exactly. What do I mean by that? So there's things that today that inadvertently you're just doing it because it's something that was passed down to you. Like one thing on her story, so she went to Europe. She was in Europe. She stumbled upon a restaurant where the waiter was also American. And the American guy recognized her. And this is back in the 70s, okay, when she was alive. So she was kind of famous back then. She was into the study of sociology and cultures and whatnot. So when she went to the restaurant, the waiter recognized her and welcomed her and said, it's really nice to have you here. There's other Americans in this restaurant. And Margaret said, when they are done eating their dessert, let me know, and I'll let you know how many Americans are in this room. and the waiter was like, how are you going to do that? She goes, don't worry. When they're done eating dessert, let me know, and I'll count them out for you. So they ate. They finished their dessert. they told Margaret. Margaret stands up, takes a look at their plates and whatnot, and they were eating pie for dessert, kind of like the pie that Ray has. So Margaret walks back to the waiter and says, "There's 65 Americans in this restaurant right now, in this party that you have." So the guy goes back to the guest list, and true enough, there's 65 Americans in Europe. Like, she was able to recognize that just by looking at the prints. So the guys, how did you do that? So Margaret said, some things that we do are stemmed from habit, things that we do subconsciously. She goes, people that are from America, when they eat a pie, how do you eat a pie? You start from the tip, going all the way to the back.
Yeah.
Right?
Normally.
But back in the day, back in the 70s, during that time, in Europe, people from Europe, they eat from the back, going to the tip. And that's how she figured out who's who.
Everybody had a crust.
You know what they do
Yeah.
in Europe? They put one cake in the middle and they all share. They don't finish all one cake by themselves.
Yeah.
They do conversation and just put their fork and share.
Right.
For one piece of cake. They don't see them finish the whole thing.
So that's one of the things that we always talk about here, right? What are the other things that you might be doing that you don't even know that you're doing? Right? Habits that are kind of ingrained in our DNA that we might not even recognize that we're doing.
Waking up in the morning. Subconsciously?
Mine is
Yeah.
my makeup.
Unconsciously, not subconsciously, unconsciously.
Yeah,
I don't like
that's true.
That's my makeup.
I don't want to involve myself anymore in that. No,
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things that
Autopilot.
when I was new in this country, subconsciously, or I guess I was not aware of this decision that I was making, but to me, the hardest part of the easiest thing that I probably have ever done in the US, believe it or not, the easiest thing is actually making the job that I have now. Is probably one of the easiest things that I've ever done. Like getting the job that I have. Like truthfully. Like if Dole were to say I'm done, they're done with me, I genuinely feel it's not that difficult for me to find a job. The hardest thing for me was actually 15, 18 years ago when I first landed, was the fact about believing that I could actually get a job. That to me took longer. No, that to me took longer than actually keeping the job. Once I started believing that I could actually get this job, this type of work, this type of pay, getting the job became easy. Am I making sense? The actual getting of the job became easy, but the believing part took me longer.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that in Margaret's life that she was sharing, that there's a lot of things that we might be doing subconsciously that we're not aware of.
So it's our spirit doing it and our body don't want to do it.
That's true. Making,
To cage and a bird.
making discipline a part of your life, yeah?
Keep the bird in the cage.
Right. So one of the things that I wanted to tell you guys, we better be watchful of our words. The words that you tell yourself when you wake up in the morning. Like, do you guys believe in positive reinforcement?
Yes.
Yes,
What
I
is
do.
our prayer?
Right? Like,
Start the day off.
the scripture says, in the beginning there was the word.
Only
Right?
in the mirror.
So be careful what you say to yourself.
The word is our prayers, and if you don't have faith to it and don't keep it positive, and blessing don't come with the prayers. So word is really our prayers. That's why I tell my son, don't say nothing unless you're really thinking and faithfully saying it.
Word is born.
How about this? When you're having a bad day, what do you guys tell yourself?
Pray.
Every day be better.
Say it out loud sometimes.
Tomorrow will be better.
Yeah, tomorrow will be a new day.
Don't ever say that you're having a bad day, okay?
Right.
When we leave this room,
That's
I
it.
want you guys to start saying to yourself, I'm having a character building day.
That's what I know.
Don't ever say that you're broke, because you're not broke. You're having a cash flow problem.
That's for
All
sure.
right?
They
You gotta make it
try to
sound
find
better.
All right.
You gotta make it sound better.
We're in a cash flow solution.
I'm being serious. I know it's funny, but I'm being serious.
They are privatizing everything, like Donald Trump. No federal, no state.
But you gotta be watchful of the words that you say to you, because half of the time, guys, the best thing that you ever hear about you are the things that you tell you. Right?
They don't wake us up, we could make it, but they wake us up
Yeah.
clearly, so we can't make it up.
Have this ever happened to you where things were so good, right? And you were thinking like, this can't be this good, right? Something's about to break. And guess what? Something does break. Because that's our thought process of what we're calling in. Why not call in what we want in our life?
But you know what though? It's not always us that puts in that negative, and it could be anybody. One minute you're having such a positive day, or
It's
one
like
negative.
me when I say I'm not gonna eat
change
that
the whole
day, I
way,
eat a lot.
way of thinking. You're like,
It's very true.
it's negative, and you're the rest of your day is just like, dang, that one person just changed my whole.
So how do you combat that? There you
Yeah,
go.
go ahead.
You don't allow it.
Huh?
I say you don't allow it.
You try not to. Yeah, definitely. But there's some that just gets through your skin. You know what I mean?
I mean,
You're like, oh, that's
it-
such a good
it's-
thing. Why do you have to do this?
and you work on it. You know, it's
Yeah.
a.
And I look for cash flow, fat flows in my body.
No, but it's very true. You have to protect yourself from that thing.
Shield yourself.
Well,
there's
There's two ways you can attack it, just like anything else in life, right? You can either avoid the problem,
Right.
or you can strengthen yourself so that when the problem comes, you're ready.
That's why I tell myself a lot of negative stuff, and sometimes just to motivate myself. I do that.
You know when it rains, what I think about?
Mm.
To keep your head above water.
That's why
You
I
know,
can't do
motivate
this,
yourself always
I
to
do
be
it
up
because
slowly.
like, I'm the worst basketball player, and I end up playing basketball really good.
Mm.
It's psychedelic. Maybe it's just me. I just psych myself out.
That's the best
Okay.
one.
That's one way.
That's a good department to lose weight though. Running.
Do you guys remember the reading about judging a tree by the fruit that it bears? You guys remember that?
Say that again?
Judging judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think that means?
It's like judging a book by its cover.
I think that.
Let me rephrase. Who wants to be successful? Anybody wants to be
Everybody.
successful? All right. Everybody wants to be successful. So now let me change the question a little bit. Who expects to be successful? There we go. So, judging the tree by the fruit that it bears, what do you think that means?
I think it means, don't think about.
Oh, go for it. I'll get to you.
I think that it means to me, or it's meant to me in my life. You're not always as you can see or as one has told you, but you have to also look at others, and it changes you as well.
Well, don't focus on the reward. Focus on actual.
I think
What were you gonna say?
I interpreted it as parenthood.
Okay.
And if you have kids and stuff, to always look after them and keep them in mind and say thoughtful prayers for them, and the seed doesn't fall far from the tree. So it's always good to put on a good example and to plow the way forward, to heaven and stuff, so that way your kids have an easy way to get in.
Okay.
Say for instance, like if we're homeless now, and then are we going to preach about being homeless, or are we going to say, you know what, I succeeded through this, here's how you get through it. And from that is the fruit of what we're teaching about.
Excuse me, can I say something? I look
Sure.
at the beginning part of it, is how we plant the seeds. I decided I'm 70 years old, I'm not gonna go through everything unless I go back and from beginning start to build the building from the first steps and bring solid goal before I go to second step. Because every time I try to jump fast to whatever I wanna achieve, it seems as faster I move, as faster I fall. So I love President Bush's that I dislike, phrase that he says slowly and surely with God, everything is possible.
Okay.
If
So
you
judging a
listen
tree
and
by
all.
the fruit that it bears.
So we
right?
have
So what kind of fruit are we bearing?
Well,
So
I think.
yeah, go for it.
I don't think that has anything to do with that. I think what that is the fruits of the Spirit, which are faith, hope, joy,
long suffering,
That's what I'm saying.
patience,
the
Compassion.
kindness, compassion.
compassion, faith, hope, joy, compassion, honesty,
integrity.
integrity, and truth. So, or something like that. But those are the fruits of the trees. The trees of good. The trees of evil bear the evil fruit, the bad fruit, which would be pride, envy, lust.
So how do we apply that now in our current day-to-day life? If we're the tree.
You know, this is to the left or right a little bit because it's raw energy. The fruit bears an energy, an essence. I think a fruit is having an essence and a nature.
Okay.
So you know the tree